WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American over here in Germany, and the SirDavis Rye Whiskey finished in sherry casks made it to Europe. Thank you, Miss Canada, for your wonderful support. She imports whiskeys over to Germany, and we have here the wonderful Beyoncé bottle. Now, just in case you found my channel here because of SirDavis, because of Beyoncé, I review rye, I review whiskeys from all over the world. I've lived in Germany now for 30 plus years, and I actually import American whiskeys over here to Germany and try to distribute and to sell them here and create a brand for help brands actually enter the German market. This I bought as an individual bottle. I love the bottle design. I've rate my whiskeys on a normal school grading system. I'm going to give this an A for looks. Now, the price, $89 in the States, 109 euros is what I paid over here for this with postage, handling, excise tax, and all that. I do not think that price is actually justified for the liquid in this bottle. Now, there's a whiskey base that's actually a database for all the whiskeys in the world, more European focused, and this has the number 260137. Just type in whiskybase.com, one word, and you'll get there and you'll be able to find some information about this whiskey. This is 44% ABV, 88 proof. Now, I don't know about you, but for some reason, this whiskey has a Wikipedia page. I do not know many whiskeys that have their own Wikipedia page. Well, I don't know many celebrity whiskeys here or any whiskeys otherwise made by Beyoncé. Now, Beyoncé, years ago, contacted a very big company in the world called Moët Hennessy. And she said, I want to create my own whiskey. Hey, you create whiskeys. You own Ardbeg in Scotland. You own Glenmorangie in Scotland. You now own Whistle Pig in America. Why don't we have a collaboration? Make me a great whiskey. Or let me help you and help us make a great whiskey together. And so Moët Hennessy went to their genius of whiskey, Dr. Bill Lumsden, and said, hey, we need a whiskey. Now, WhistlePig sources almost all of their whiskey from Alberta, Canada, brings it over to Vermont, and there they actually finish the whiskeys. Now, they have produced some of their own, but that's not what's in here. What's in here, and it says so on the very bottom here, distilled and aged in Indiana. This is MGP juice, or Ross and Squibb distillery juice, as we now have to call them. We should call them that. So they used a typical mash bill at MGP, 51% rye. A rye has to be primarily majority, has to be rye. So the legal limit is 51%. And it's 49% malted barley, which single malt in America and in Scotland is 100% malted barley. And so this is a 2-grain whiskey. And it's the bare limit of rye whiskey at all. Now, they did pump it up to 44% ABV. The minimum would have been 40%, so that's great. And what they did is they took the cask, the liquid from those casks that aged in Indiana at MGP, brought it down to Texas. Now, Beyoncé is from Texas, and so they created the headquarters of SirDavis in Houston, Texas. And in August of 2024, they launched this product, Moët Hennessy, together with Beyoncé, and it was in the U.S., selected stores in London, Paris, Tokyo, and so on. And some people import this, like, for example, a German company called Urban Drinks does this as well, and they sell it instead of $89 for 139 euros over here. So the story goes, Beyoncé has a great-grandfather on her father's paternal side. And he was a farmer. And during Prohibition, he was a moonshiner. And so she has connection to whiskey. Not my best story that I love, but hey, why not? But Beyoncé does drink whiskey. All right, that's what I like. Now, Beyoncé's dad, Matthew Knowles, actually visited his grandfather at the distillery while he was making illegal moonshine back then. And that was the very, very first time he ever heard an Afro-American black man called Sir. And to honor him, SirDavis was created. All right, so that's what we have here. How long is the finish in Pedro Jimenez casks? We don't know. Is this natural color? We don't know. It doesn't say so on the label. It should be, but who knows? It's just rye whiskey, not straight rye whiskey. And also, is it non-chill filtered? We don't know. This is a celebrity whiskey. This is not a nerd whiskey. All right, so we're paying a lot of money for this beautiful bottle. We're paying a little bit of money for the Beyoncé, whose name is behind this. And we're paying also a lot of money for a lot of advertising and a lot of marketing here. Okay, so this is the first spirit brand developed entirely internally by Moët Hennessy in the USA, which is cool. All right. So let's go over here to my comparison whiskey. I always, or almost always, compare a whiskey with something. Lot 40. Lot 40 is a rye whiskey from Canada. 100% rye whiskey. And what we have here, it's copper pot distilled. 43%. Here we have 44%. It's in new American oak, aged in new oak barrels. It doesn't have to be American oak, I'm sorry. And it's crafted in Canada, and I love this product. This is 32 euros over here. So I can basically get 3 to 4 bottles of this for the price of one of these. Oh, I didn't pour anything. Shame on me. It should have been in the glass the whole time. I'm sorry. All right. Nice topper here. Press cork as the cork here. A little bit of paper here on the neck so that when I pour it, I don't have glass on glass contact. Very nice. Feels good in the hand. Beautiful bottle. Let's talk about the whiskeys. Now, on the nose, I do get a typical MGP grassy moment. Often, MGP product would be here, Bullet, 95.5. All right, so 95% rye, 5% malted barley. This is 51% rye and 49%. Over here in Germany, we actually have from the brand MGP, their whiskey brand is called Rossville. We had a single barrel exactly of this mash bill. It was cast strength. I do think I have a video online in English as well, not just German. And I called it the gateway whiskey for single malt drinkers in the rye world. Because of that 49% malted barley helps them to identify moments that they are more familiar with. Rye is different from bourbon. Rye is different from single malt. And rye has a much more of that herbalness to it. And that's what I get here. I get a little bit of a sweetness, but I get a lot of rye bread dough. I get a little bit of that grassy moment, and I get a little bit of the sweetness here, probably from the sherry cask. Over here. Oh, this is so much better, in my opinion. I really like this. I have a little bit of menthol. I have a little bit of eucalyptus. I have a lot of a spicy herbalness that I just really love from good 100% rye whiskeys. All right, so let's try this 44%, 88 proof for you out there. Cheers. I didn't really get that Pedro Jimenez, that sherry moment on the nose, but I do get it on the palate. Starts off with rye. It does get a little dry. There's a little bit of astringency. There's a lot of orange peel going on in there. A little bit here of the Christmas spices, clove, cinnamon. And then it goes over to that sweetness. A little bit of toffee, a little bit of raisins, a little bit of like a caramel sugar goodness. That's not bad. That's a C+ whiskey. Now, the value for money. Would I in America pay $89 for a no age statement? No. D. Now, as I said, the bottle is an A. So remember what I'm saying here. The look, A. The value for money, D. The taste, C+. And that's always the question of what do you want? Do you want a product that is solid, that looks standard, has a great price? Or do you want something fancy? That's okay. This is fancy and okay. This is something I can say, hey, go, because you're not going to be disappointed. It's not bad whiskey. Opposite. MGP makes great whiskey. And finishing in Texas with some Pedro Jimenez cask is a very, very good thing. I laughed when it says here. They say on the whiskey Wikipedia page here, they incorporated traditional whiskey making techniques from Japan and Scottish whiskies by finishing it in Pedro Jimenez sherry casks. That is not something exclusively done just in Japan and Scotland. Now, they've been doing it longer than we've been doing it in America with lots of our products, but to call finishing a Japanese or Scotch whiskey technique, I thought was funny. So it is the first spirits product, or spirits brand developed entirely internally by Moët Hennessy in the U.S. So very good. Took years. If I want something, just a very good whiskey, rye, that will meet all my needs for bartending, for drinks, for cocktails, for neat on the rocks, Lot 40 is one of my favorite picks in the world for that. I think this is great, and it has one of the best value for money out there. This celebrity whiskey, we're paying a premium for the bottle. We're paying a premium for Beyoncé's name on it. We're paying a premium here for finishing it in sherry casks. We're paying a premium for marketing and for advertising for this product, for social media and so on. And the whiskey itself is good. Half the price in a normal bottle, okay. In a special bottle for a special person, for a special release, it's always the question, do we want to pay that premium or not? What is your favorite celebrity whiskey? Is it from Vampire's Diaries, Brothers Bond? Is it from Terry Bradshaw? Is it from Drake? Is it from Beyoncé? Is it from Nick Opperman? Is it from, I don't know who else has celebrity whiskeys out there that you've had. What is your favorite celebrity whiskey? Thank you very much for watching, liking, subscribing, and see you real soon here by WhiskyJason. Bye-bye.